Hi, my name is Elena Fernandez. I'm an environmental coordinator with Thurston County Public Works, and I'm here to present our Brian Abbott fish barrier removal board proposal, which will be, it's a planning project or design. So we're applying for design funds for the Green Cove Creek at Country Club Road Northwest Fish Passage project. Just to orient everybody to the location, we're kind of sitting in the north of Thurston County on the Cooper Point Peninsula. Green Cove Creek originates in wetlands. I believe a lot of the property is owned by the city of Olympia for those headwaters, which then Green Cove Creek goes and empties into Eld Inlet. This particular culvert, as you can see in the the location of the culvert is in this red circle here on Country Club Road Northwest. Country Club Road Northwest was actually built in the 1970s by a housing developer. So they were wanting to develop this area for housing. So that's why the road and the culvert are there. A few more details about the particular site. Please note that these details were prior to our emergency repair that we completed in November of this year. So prior to that repair, this particular barrier was a 5-foot diameter corrugated metal pipe and with baffles. So it was mapped as considered a fishway. Based on a survey completed by South Puget Sound Salmon Enhancement Group in December of 2019, it was deemed 0% passable. And that survey was accepted by WDFW for their inventory database. Details on that survey included that they found a hole in the culvert below the baffle, which caused water to undermine the culvert, and there were no pools below the baffle. So that is important to note. On Green Cove Creek, there are several anadromous fish species, including your chum, coho, steelhead, resident trout, and your sea-run cutthroats. We do know that this is a high priority watershed for YRA 13, as well as other entities such as the city of Olympia. And this particular project is a high priority for Thurston County Public Works. This is a picture. These two pictures are basically just kind of how this culvert changed in 2 years. On the left-hand side is the picture from the South Puget Sound Salmon Enhancement Group survey that was accepted by WDFW. As you can see, it's a really nice round culvert. You can see the baffles in the bottom of the culvert. It appears to be, the structural integrity was good. The structure was not failing. However, in 2 years, not even 2 years, you can see there was a collapse of over 12 inches in that culvert, and the baffles were rotted out. So, in order to save the road, preserve the hydraulic connection of Green Cove Creek, we needed to do an emergency repair because otherwise that culvert would continue to collapse, and then we would have a complete earthen dam at that point. So the emergency repair was complete in November of 21, in which case we installed a 3-foot temporary pipe within the existing culvert. This was permitted through WDFW. And actually, as we installed that slip line, the culvert continued to collapse. So we were able to install that, make that fix to preserve that hydraulic connection. So as a stipulation within the permit, we need to now do the permanent fix. So we are submitting our application for the design of the permanent fix to create a bid-ready package. So that'll include the permitting, cultural resources, preliminary design, alternatives analysis, final design, again, to make that bid-ready package so we can hit the ground with construction. The alternatives being evaluated in that alternatives analysis, which we've just kind of started, is the in no particular order. We're looking at a pedestrian bridge, either complete, or complete removal of the structure, closing the road, or we're looking at like a massive buried bridge or a 2-lane bridge. So those are the 4 alternatives we're evaluating. We are not installing a 5-foot diameter culvert, so it is not, we will not have an in-kind replacement. In fact, our preferred alternative will meet or exceed the stream sim criteria and those WDFW water crossing standards, so it will be fish passable. And construction will be complete in by 2024, or within 2024 rather.